The direct descendants, their spouses, and other relatives of Fred and Maggie Hayes gathered for a reunion on June 10, 2017. Margie Hayes and her three daughters, Linda Hayes Taylor, Cathy Hayes Godwin, and Susie Hayes Thomas, hosted the event at the old home place. The patriarch's full name was Frederick Watson Hayes, Sr. As of this telling, he was born 135 years ago in 1882. He died in 1949 at the age of 67. The matriarch's full name was Margaret Louisa Hargett Hayes, affectionately known as Maggie. She was born in 1883 and died in 1962 at the age of 79. Fred and Maggie were married in 1905, and their first child, Verla, arrived a year later. Between 1905, when they were married, and 1945, when their last child, Steve, left home to join the Navy, Fred and Maggie suffered through a Great Depression and 2 world wars. Even so, they raised 4 remarkable daughters and 5 outstanding sons to adulthood. Their children were Verla Hayes Long, Alice Hayes Eason, Stacy Hayes, Winnie Hayes Goree, Frederick Hayes, who lived only 7 months, Nelson Hayes, Grayson Hayes, Margaret Hayes Bly, Frank Hayes, and Steve Hayes. This video is dedicated to the memory of this beloved family.
Appreciate everybody being here today. This is a really great day for all of the Hayeses and friends and relatives and family just to get together and see each other. As I mentioned before, we're happy to have Margie Hayes and Eleanor Hayes. They married brothers. They stayed friends and sister-in-laws throughout all these years. I want to take a special moment to recognize the Herman and Eula Hayes line. Herman Hayes was a brother to Fred Hayes. Susan, would you and just your family just stand for a moment? See, it's just Susan. That's all that family was. There they are. And Mother, Josie. Josie is Herman's daughter. We're so happy to have you here. And we'll be talking to you a little bit later. I also had a phone call from the C.J. Garrison family. Is Cathy Marshall here? Cathy Marshall lives in Florida, and it's very possible that they will be coming in a little while. And they were, their father was also one of the brothers.
Direct descendants from Fred and Maggie Hayes. Little Paxton starts the 6th generation, which is just unbelievable to me. And this coming year, it's my hope and my desire that my daughter-in-law Karen and I will be working on an extension of what Betsy and Henry David Eason put together to extend out these relatives with their connections and their dates of birth. We have now gotten to the electronic age. She assures me that we can work that out and it will happen. I want to be sure before y'all leave that you get a couple of the handouts that we have as take-home things. We've got the program which you have, which is a little fan. There's a little article on the back. We also have this several stories that was printed up as a repeat.
Skip Long, right out of college, the Vietnam War was going on, and I knew I was going to get drafted. So my dad was ex-Marine Corps, and he wanted me to go in the Marine Corps. And I said, Dad, I'm a lover, not a fighter. So I went into the Coast Guard. It was probably the best thing I ever did as far as the military goes, because I went in as what they call a 6x8. You spent 6 months active duty and 8 years in the reserve, plus two weeks in the summer, every summer. And it sort of got me out of active duty. It got me back home. My dad had a couple heart attacks and needed help with the business, and so I was able to do that. But, you know, to you servicemen out there that really put in time, you know, I'm thankful for you.
I'm Phil Antis. I'm an in-law, actually, but I feel like a member of this family.
You are.
I didn't take Skip's advice. I went into the Marine Corps in 1965 and stood the yellow footprints and got my head shaved and beat up. 6 years in the Marine Corps and never regretted it a bit.
Mike Hale.
in the Navy in 1958, a week after I graduated from high school. Spent 4 years in the U.S. Navy active. Spent most of it in Norfolk, Virginia, where I met my beautiful wife, Rebecca. And that's a long story in itself. If you want a time to sit down and get a laugh, you can ask her about that. We have 3 beautiful children. Only one family could make it with us today for a variety of reasons, and they send their love and their wishes. When I get out of the Navy, so I spent 2 years, the last year in Scotland, and Becky was home with my family in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And if you don't think that was a culture shock for her, you got another thought coming. But she survived. She lived in a neighborhood that was so ethnic. The whole block and probably 2 blocks square was Italian, which my mother was. And she used to tell stories to me where she would sit on the porch with all the neighbors, and she knew they were talking about her, but she didn't know a word they were saying, because everybody be glancing her way once in a while and chuckling and all, and so it was kind of interesting. She spent a great year, and I spent a terrible year in Scotland without her, but it turned out all right. We got back together when I got discharged, and since then we've had a wonderful life, and we have great kids and great grandkids, and some of them are here today. That's all I can say.
My name is Bill Yancey. I married into the Hayes clan. Learned a lot of lessons quick. Lost a lot of money to the Hayes brothers. I'm married to Ellen, daughter of Alice, and we've had a wonderful marriage. We'll be coming up on 52 years of bliss this month. Is that correct, honey? Some of you came up to join with us 2 years ago when Ellen celebrated her 50th wedding anniversary and her 75th birthday. So we've seen a lot of the Hayeses over the years. I went into the military during the Korean conflict, went into the Army, served 3 years. I was fortunate enough to have been sent to Europe instead of to the Far East, and what a blessing that was. I went in as a private and I came out as a private. They offered me all kinds of rank to stay, but I couldn't stand the life. The Army was not my cup of tea.
You're a lover.
I'm a lover, and I ended up in a loving family. Taken advantage of by some of the Hayes brothers at times, but learned a lot of lessons and a lot of good stories and more lies than good stories. I'm happy to be here today, and I'm glad to see all of y'all. Have a great day.
So I don't have much to say towards that. I did serve 4 years in the Navy back between 89 and 93, but that's about it.
What'd you do in the Navy? What'd you do in the Navy? Not the stuff we don't want to know about. Just what was your job? What was your job in the Navy?
I was a machinist in the Navy.
All right. And Dad always told stories, and everybody knows that. And the memories that you make with these stories are very unforgettable. And I have a story that I would like to tell that he told us about Papa Hayes. And Papa Hayes wasn't the richest farmer around, but he had some rich farmers that came and visited, and they would trade animals and mules and cows and horses and whatever they did. So one day this rich farmer comes by, and Papa Hayes had a new cow that had a calf. And the farmer says, well, I'd like to buy that cow. And so Papa Hayes said, well, you know, that's a really nice milk cow, and that's a nice calf. Said, I'll take $100 for her. And he said, not a penny less. And the guy said, okay, I'll give you $100 for that cow and calf. And so he said, I'll be back next week, next Friday or Saturday, and I'll pick her up, so I'll bring my trailer. So that next week rolled around, and here comes the rich farmer
which, everybody worked for a living. It was a hard job. So the farmer comes up, and they had shook hands on this deal, and Pop says, $100. And so the man comes up and he says, I had to buy some stuff at the store, and he said, I only got $99.95. And Papa Hayes said, I told you $100. And the guy said, well, I'll give you that nickel later on. Papa Hayes said, I don't think so. He says, I want you to get back in your car, in your trailer, and take off. I'm not selling you this cow and her calf today. So, the moral that I get from this story is, when you make a deal with the Hayeses, you better keep it. Because they do have a sense of loyalty and right about them. And I always thought that was an interesting story about the Hayeses and Papa Hayes, that he kept his word and he instilled in us a sense of loyalty and right and wrong. And I think we all today really should be thankful to him and our grandmother for instilling in us, a sense of right and wrong. And so to this day, I guess a memory to me is worth more than a nickel. Who your parent is?
I'm Philip, and my dad is Philip Antis Jr. I'm Charlie, and my dad is Philip Antis Jr.
You guys got a mom?
I'm Jacob Taylor, and my mom and dad are Dwayne Taylor and Farn Taylor. I'm Jonathan Taylor, and my mom and dad are Dwayne and Carn Taylor. My mom is Catherine, and my daddy is Eric.
What is your name?
Vera.
Vera. Okay, good job. Y'all doing a great job.
My mommy name.
Sweetest word in the world. Give me your name.
What's your name?
Tell me who your mama is. Who's your daddy?
My daddy is
Bruce. Bruce. Is he out there? Do you see him somewhere? Daddy, raise your hand.
My name is Tristan, and and my mom and dad's name is Sarah Duke and David Duke.
Desi's a little new to the group. This is her first year, and she's our adopted cousin and daughter.
Who are you staying with right now, Desi? Daughter of?
David and Grace Yancey.
Okay.
I am Claire, and my name, and my mom's name and my dad's name is Melissa and Winston.
Point them out to us. They've been hiding over there. I see they. Where are they?
Over there.
There they are.
My name is Natalie Self, and my parents are Wes and Melissa Self.
Okay.
I'm Maddie, and my parents are Bruce and Samantha Reynolds.
Okay. What's your name, little one?
Jacob.
This is Jacob.
Jacob Yancey.
Okay. And his mother, Sophie, is that right?
Right, Sophie Yancey and Mark Yancey.
There you go. Let's give everybody, these kids around us, applause. Okay.
Thank you so much. This is she and little Paxton, and are probably our two youngest cousins, Paxton Yancey and Evelyn Ferguson.
First of all, our grandparents, Thomas Hayes and Josephine Haywood, Fred Hayes and Aunt Margaret Hayes. These are the grandparents. Verla Hayes, Alice Josephine Hayes, Stacy Hayes, and Ethel May, Aunt Winnie and Uncle Corey. There was a baby, Fred Watson Hayes, Nelson and Ruth Hayes, Grayson Hayes, Margaret and Roy Bly, Uncle Frank and Aunt Pete, Steve Hayes, Beverly Long Burlage, Barbara Long Philman, Thomas Milford Eason. Ring that bell, darn. Henry David Eason. There you go. Michael Hayes Eason. Frederick Hayes. Calvin Bruce Hayes. Douglas Henson. Justin Yancey. Richard Hayes. Uncle Nelson and Aunt Eula Hayes. And good old Tom Hayes, Bubba that passed away. And although not a family member, but adopted family member, Bob and Thelma Smith. Did I miss anybody? So keep on, keep it on. We love all of you. Looking forward to lots of fun and conversation this afternoon.
Well, my mom, Verla Hayes, was the oldest daughter, and she was pretty much raised here on the farm, but just hated the farm. And my dad, Clyde Long, he was in a little farm down the way here, and he hated the farm. And so they got together, and he was in the Marine Corps, and they ran off. And the results was my sister, Beverly, and Barbara, and myself. And Beverly had 2 boys. Barbara had 1 boy. Myself, I had 2 girls, Deborah and Elizabeth. And now my daughters have 1 daughter. My youngest daughter has 2 boys, and my oldest daughter has 2 girls. So that's as far as we've gone so far. But the way things are going, who knows, you know. But anyway, I'm glad I got this Hayes blood in me because it's good.
Anyway, I am the daughter of Alice Eason, and as Skip was talking about, Mother hated the farm too. She said that being a farmer was like being a workhorse. You worked from sun up to sundown, and it was terrible, but out of all of that work, it taught them a lot of lessons, and we were the recipient of those things. But let me introduce, first of all, my husband, as he said earlier, of 52 years next week. David is my eldest. Grace is his wife. David Jr., I want you to take note that David is 27 because later on down the line I'm going to introduce you to my youngest. David is my oldest grandchild. Brian is my tallest grandson. And this is my new granddaughter, Desi. Brian also has with him his significant other, his girlfriend, Lisa. Mark is here. And Mark is holding Jacob, who is 14 months old, and he's my youngest grandson. So I have one 27 and one 14 months. And Sonia is standing beside Mark. Sonia is originally from Russia. So Mark's one of those guys that went over to Russia and brought a bride back.
Yay!
But it did take him 9 years. He was over there 9 years. He didn't go over there just to get her, but he did luck out with her. And then Matthew is Mark's son too. So Matthew is holding my first great-grandchild. His name is Paxton. He's 5 weeks old, and standing next to Matthew is his wife, Megan.
Yes.
Oh, but Peggy has her own family. But she's welcome to be in my family. She'd like it.
I'm a daughter of Alice, too.
Okay. Well, come on and have something to say about it.
Something to say?
Yeah, whatever you want.
I don't have much to say, but there were five siblings of Alice Eason, and Ellen and I are the only two surviving. And so I'm a widow now. I lost my husband in 99. Hooray. You know, everybody, and I always want to do that. You know, get on these game shows, says, I want to thank my wonderful husband that's been marvelous. Mine was a son of a bitch. So I got that off my chest. I'm good. Anyway, well, I'm going to tell it like it is. If you ask me a question, I'm going to give you right up. But anyway, I had 2 children. A son who I lost, and he had 3 children, but I'm estranged from those children because his wife went in a different direction. I have a daughter who lives in Indiana, and she has 5 girls. He only had girl boys. So anyway, I moved to Indiana to be near them. I've moved into a 55-year community, and I see them, and the neighbors are wonderful. And I came back to visit with Ellen because I used to fly from Virginia to Indiana to visit my daughter. And now I'm flying from Indiana to Virginia to be with my sister, because she is truly a lovely person, and I love her to death. You know, life is good, you know, it has its ups and its downs, but, you know, we got that Hayes blood in us, which is, you know, helps us survive anything. So, thanks.
I have said many times we were so blessed to be born into the Hayes family because of the love that is just shown. I will tell a quick story regarding Frank and Steve, because they always, whenever we came to see them, they would always hug me and grab the cheeks of my butt since I was a little girl and go, ooh, so good to see you. Well, the first time Mr. Bill, my husband of 53 years, the first time he was introduced to him, Frank and Steve both greeted me the same way. Put their arms around me, grab me by the cheeks of my butt, and go, ooh, it's so good to see you. Well, my husband about had a stroke. Later, he gave me a piece of his mind as to this should not happen again. And I politely told him it will happen over and over, because that's the way we were always raised. This is my husband, Bill, of 53 years, and this is my oldest son, Buddy. We call him, he's Bill Jr., and so we have just, I mean, that's it. He lives in Rock Hill now, which we're absolutely thankful, because that's where we live. Billy and I live is in Rock Hill. I have another son that lives in New Jersey, and he was unable to attend. Thank you again for coming. Wait a minute. Wait.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, I didn't want this to happen.
Yes, he did. I wanted to tell a story about the Hayes brothers that they did to me. It happened here. We live in Rock Hill, and Bernice says, we're going to go up to Hayesville up here, and we're going to go to a square dance. So, okay, square dance? Yeah, we're going to a square dance. So we go to this square dance, and we're really having a good time. And then a couple of the brothers, I will not name, said, welcome to the family. Let's go outside and we'll have a drink together, just kind of welcome you to the family. So I go outside, and one's on this side, one's on this side. And he takes a drink, and I take a drink, and he takes a drink. And they pass it back to me. And then I figure, after I was semi-conscious, I realized that I was taking 2 drinks for every one that they were. And the evening ended up, they drove me back down the road here, and right out there on that road, it was a dirt road at the time, I said, I got to get out. I think I'm going to, get rid of some of this. And so I got out on the road. They drove on up to the house. And the next thing I remember was the next day, I woke up in the front bedroom here in this house. And that's just some of the tricks that the Hayes brothers love to do to people. So I thought I wanted to share that with you.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think all of I think all of them went through this. Look at them; they're all shaking their head. Yes, they did. So thanks for the story.
Happy.
We want to know the brothers. Which brothers?
Yes.
I think it was Frankenstein. I mean, they were wonderful, and we loved them more than life itself. They were just absolutely great to
Melvin
have.
Hayes is the son of Stacy Hayes. And this is his son, Jonathan. And Melvin is our oldest boy cousin. Did you know that?
I figured it out now.
Okay. Say a few words to this.
Oldest one's still living.
Oh, excuse me, the oldest living boy cousin.
Yeah. I'm not ready to give a long speech, but I will say this. I had Brother Bruce. He was All-American soccer player. Went to Baylor University, and he had strokes in his later life, and I went to him and told him, Bruce, I want to be with you. My phone's ringing of all times. It hadn't rung in 4 weeks. But I went to him, I said, Brother Bruce, I forgive you for all the things that you did mean to me. I do, I forgive you for that. And while I'm at it, if I've ever done anything to offend you, I ask you to forgive me. We can be friends from now on. He said, yes, sir. We hugged, and he lived the rest of his life. He and I went to Carolina football games, and Kent Hayes gave us tickets once in a while. He had tickets to the Carolina Panthers. But we went to football games, enjoyed each other, and I think that's the key. We love each other. We all Hayeses. We love each other. I don't have nothing against you. I forgive you. If you just forgive me, And this is my son, Jonathan. He's was a former policeman in Raleigh, Durham, and now he's a pastor of Celebration Church in Raleigh. And you want to say anything?
Yeah, I'll say something. We're just glad to be here with you guys today. We're honored to have the last name Hayes. We have a rich heritage. I remembered this property right when I pulled up. Our little boy running around here with Uncle Steve, and some of my memories were flaring a little bit, but we're just excited to be here with you guys today, the fellowship. I've got 2 twins. My wife couldn't come. Those of you women who have children, she's breast pumping all night, and I don't need to say any more about that. You understand. But we're just glad to be here, glad to be with my dad, and we just love you guys, and thank you for having us, and thank you for having the Hayes reunion. It's really awesome.
That's my tap dance routine.
Welcome, everybody. My name's Wes Self. This is my family over here. I am the
grandson of Elmer and Winifred Goree. My mom and dad here, Bill and Pat Self. Mom is the daughter of Winifred Goree, and this is my wife and my two daughters, Melissa, Claire, and Natalie.
Hey there, everybody. First of all, I just wanted to say a personal thank you to the Steve Hayes family, all the family, the girls, their spouses, everyone for putting this on. This is just so special to me, and I particularly wanted my two beautiful granddaughters here to see that they have quite a family here. On the Melissa's side, it's very small, so this is a real eye-opener for them, and I wanted them to experience this. My mom and dad were quite a couple, I understand, and very loving. My dad, most of you know him by Goree, was in the Marine Corps for, I think, about 35 years, and they had quite a career. Uncle Steve, I do remember, he was over in Honolulu, Hawaii. I was a little girl, and Mom used to say that Uncle Steve would babysit me so that they could go out on the town. But anyway, this is thrilling just to be a part of a Hayes group, like all of us feel. And especially the girls, the girl cousins. We have been meeting now since 2000. We go to different places. We've had a ball together. We've shared so many Hayes stories. I have so many. I wrote down a few, but it would take an hour to tell you all of the Hayes stories that I've heard. I was blessed. Bill and I took, by the way, this is my love of my life over here, Bill. We happened to take Aunt Margie and Uncle Steve to Florida for a few days to see Uncle Roy and Aunt Margaret because they were getting up there. And the whole time we were driving from here to where Skip lives, where was that, Skip?
Clearwater.
Clearwater. We heard so many stories, and some of them I'm not sure that were believable, but honestly, Steve talked, and Aunt Margie would say, "Steve, stop. You've talked enough." But I would ask questions, and I could just kick myself for not taking a tape recorder with me that weekend to tape all the stories, because I could have transcribed those and passed those along. But anyway, it was a wonderful, wonderful time for me. One story that I will remember is, as you all know, the Hayes and their poker games. And they got together. They would always play poker, whether it was for a funeral, a wedding, just an event or whatever. But one particular time, all the Hayeses were at our house in Bennett's Creek, Virginia. And Mom used to tell Bill all the time, "I can't wait to get my brothers to play cards with you because they're going to clean your clock. They're going to take all your money." Remember that, Bill? So Bill heard that for so long, but this one particular time, Uncle Steve, Aunt Margie, Uncle Frank, Pete, Nelson, Ethel, Mike, and Alice. It was a long time ago, but it was one of the biggest card games that I had ever seen. I didn't play, but I watched, and it was a hoot with all the hooping and hollering and accusing each other of cheating and whatever. But it went on. until 4 a.m. in the morning. It was quite a game. I remember I tried to sleep, but I never could go to bed. But Bill came in and he said, they did not clean my clock. I held in there with the best of them.
Way to go.
There you go, Bill. So that was quite a time for that particular event. And I do remember that Aunt Margie and Aunt Pete had gone on back home because it was so late. So Steve and Frank came later, and when they came in, Mama made them sleep on the hard floor. And the wives slept in the twin bed. So she wouldn't let them go in there. She was mad because they came home so late. But anyway, that was one event that I never forgot. Lots and lots of good memories here. I can think Roger would take me down to his house. We'd go down through the pasture, down across the creek, up the hill in the woods, and I vaguely remember riding a tractor. Is that right, Roger? But just great memories. The only one memory that I have of Grandpa Hayes, I must have been 5 or 6, and before the screened-in porch here, but I do remember that I was sitting in the rocking chair with him and looking up at him, and that's really the only memory I have of Grandpa Hayes. But it's been great. I love having this Hayes blood. I'm trying to pass all these stories on to my beautiful family here and my 2 granddaughters. So, girls, you didn't know you had so many relatives, did you? So, anyway, bless you all, and on to the next family.
I'm the oldest of the 3 girls from Nelson and Ruth Hayes. I'm Becky. Margaret happens to be the youngest. And then we have a sister, Shirley, who's in Virginia. Thank you, dear. And they couldn't make it this weekend. But I married Don. He told you how I lived the first year of my life without him after we got married, but that was another story altogether. But I will tell you one thing. If there was probably ever a Hayes brother that could wished he could have come back to Hayes Hill, it would have been my father. When my mom and dad got married, they moved over to Rock Hill and lived with Uncle Stacy and Aunt Ethel. And then I was born over there, and then they took off to Virginia, and Daddy went to work for the government, and we wound up there and stayed there forever. But trust me, when it got to be the hunting season or the poker game time of the year, he had his car in the road, and he was headed back to Hayes Hill. But anyway, I'll tell one quick story, and then I'm going to introduce you to my children and let my daughter talk, and then Maggie, I'm sure, wants to say a couple words. I used to come down here a lot. Daddy served in World War II, and Mom brought us, Shirley and I, back down here. And these male cousins of mine were always around, especially one, Bruce, who's not with us right now. But Bruce and I share the same birthday month. Same year, same birth, same month. And we would come down here. And I can remember being up in the hayloft, and I got my pitchfork stuck between my big toe and the next toe to it. And all I wanted somebody to do was pull that thing out, and Bruce stood over there and just laughed like hell. He just thought that was the funniest thing, that pitchfork hanging out between my toes. And then there's one story about Grandma Hayes that I can remember. In there where that kitchen is, where that big table and bench are, there used to be a pot-bellied stove with a big stovepipe that went up and out. And the bunch of us little ones would take off running around that thing like it was a spinning wheel or something. And Grandma Hayes would sit in there and she said, when are you going to get hurt? You know, that thing's red hot. Well, guess who got hurt? Becky ran through there one time with her arms up. so she wouldn't touch the pipe or the wall, but didn't judge it quite right. The underside of my arm touched that stovepipe. And Grandma Hayes sat right there and she says, "Oh, I told you this was going to happen." Keep on knitting. So those are my two stories right now. Don, my husband, of 57 years come January. Of this family here, Pam's family, there's Michael is the youngest. We have Haley, and then Matthew, who just graduated from Penn State. Haley's going to be a junior in Bloomsburg, and Michael will graduate from high school next spring. Then there's Pam, and then her husband, Dave. And Pam, I'm sure you'd like to say something. No? Well, then I'm going to say it for you then. She is my oldest daughter, then my oldest child, and then I have a son, Gary, and he has 3 boys. Their names are Adam, Brian, and Mark. Adam is working in Manhattan for an insurance broker. Brian works for Goldman Sachs on Wall Street, and Mark goes to Temple University, and he'll be a junior. They could not make it here this weekend. And then my youngest daughter, Audra, who has 3 children also. We're groups of 3. I had 3 and they all had 3. So there's 9 grandchildren. But Audra's family, her oldest will be a junior at Penn State next year. And the reason they could not be here for the weekend, they really wanted to come, was her middle child graduates from high school on Monday. So this is graduation weekend for them. And she will be going to Penn State as a freshman in the fall. And then their youngest is going into high school. So that's pretty much my family. Margaret? Did I? It's up to you now.
Okay, I'm not going to be too long. And, I was struck sitting here and, just looking at all this Hayes family, extended family, of how blessed we all are to have this rich heritage, and looking at this house behind us that our parents grew up in. One thing I guess that I kind of wanted to leave with you today is the saying, happiness is still homemade. And Becky talked a lot about Dad, but I wanted to share with you about my mom. After I retired out of the Pentagon in 2010, I had Mom's sewing box, and she died of cancer. She missed just shy of her 68th birthday, and I will soon be 67. So I feel like we lost our mom pretty young. But I had asked Becky and Shirley if I could take out a piece that she had started cross-stitching that says happiness is still homemade. And it's a sampler, and it's got all these things, farm scenes, like it's got a spinning wheel and a rooster and a chicken and all this. And she had done about half of it. And so where I live in Northern Virginia, in Gainesville, Virginia, I asked this dear lady who's 80 years old if she could show me these stitches. And I took this out, and for the next 6 months, I sat a new retiree working on this sampler to finish it. And I put a little story behind it, and it's framed in my apartment. But, Becky said to everyone how much Dad loved coming here. And our mother was a quiet woman. She was contemplative, and we loved her very much. And she loved this place too, and she lived it through Dad. And happiness really is homemade, and every one of us here today have all these happy memories. And thank you for allowing me to be a part of your life today. I carry all of you in my heart and in my prayers. God bless you.
Good evening. my name is Craig Hayes. I'm Frank Hayes' son, only son. This is my wife, Denise Reed. We'll be married 23 years, December 10th. And it's been a trip. Got you covered. Roger, do we have to? And I just want to say that this is a great moment to be here. It's a happy moment. And then on the other hand, it's a sad moment to me because of the passing of course, Nelson, Grayson, Steve, Daddy. Mama here just passed here last year. And I love her and I miss her. And it's so nice to see these young ones that I do not know and hope to get to know. And of course my other cousins here. And the most thing that I remember about this place is, of course, the poker games and the beverages that was served. And we,
Sure you remember that?
well, a couple times. Got some money invested in this place, poker games. And remember the hunt, the hunt club. And I made some notes here. I won't go into, but the story that I want to share is the one that Donnie Taylor, Uncle Steve, Daddy, and me, we were down at Rocky River. This gone back many, many years. We were grappling. For what some people don't know, that's when you get on your belly in the river. You run your hand up underneath a rock. God knows what you're going to find. You hope you find a catfish. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. And I remember Donnie. Donnie yelled, "Snake." And my Uncle Steve, to this moment, I can picture my Uncle Steve running. I know Jesus walked on water, but he was not the only one. And I remember this so vivid in my mind that Uncle Steve was running, screaming, "Snake, snake, snake." And to me, that's been one of the greatest memories of all. And another one that I want to share with you, the word's already been used here, but I will abbreviate it. Daddy and Uncle Steve was down at the dog pen, back in there, with the puppies, a new litter. I don't know who came up. This man and this woman came up. Don't remember them. Probably never seen them. And they got talking about dogs. You know, with Hayes, we just tell it like it is, you know, just whatever it is, it is. And this woman, she was standing there so nonchalant, so wasn't too bright, I didn't think, you know, country bright. She says, "How do you tell a male dog from a female dog? Puppy." So, you know, Daddy and Uncle Steve, they're just standing there. Steve says, "Frank, go get the bee. Go get the bitch, you know." Woman looks around. So, you know, so they go get the dog. Daddy hands it to Uncle Steve. Uncle Steve says, "Yeah." Turns it over on its back, spreads its legs. That's how you tell them apart. This lady did not ask another question. She just stood there like, God knows what have I got into, you know. And of course, Uncle Steve had a grape yard, grapevines down there. He made grapes, grew grapes, made some darn good wine. Reminds me of Welch's grape juice. Until you had enough of it. But those are the memories here. And of course, like was brought up a while ago, walking across there to Uncle Grace's, down the hill, across the creek. I remember all of that. And it's just so nice to be here associated with the Hayes family. We don't get to see much of each other, but it's just great to be here. And I'm just proud that when I see Daddy and them again, that I can say I'm a Hayes. Thank you.
But Cathy and I have kind of connected with David, who is their youngest son. They had three sons, it's Richard, William, and David. And they're kind of their own things, doing their own things, what have you. But David did express interest and appreciation that we had invited them to the Hayes reunion. Hopefully we'll get to see them sometime. They do live in Florida. And he did want to come, but then he ended up having something that interrupted those plans. But just wanted to mention Margaret Hayes and Roy Bly family. Margaret was the youngest daughter in the family of Fred and Maggie Hayes. Mom, you got anything you want to say to this family?
Just glad to have you all here. And thank you for coming. It was at the end of a dirt road. I had no idea where I was going. I thought it was way in the country. 1948.
I asked Mama, since Dad's passed away, we've had time to share a few stories, and she said she couldn't get away from Steve Hayes. She said when she first met him, she didn't really think she even liked him. And I said, but he was so handsome and debonair. And she says, he looked okay. And I said, you've got high expectations. And then she said, well, yes, he was handsome. But she said that once he started dating her, and that was because Aunt Pete and Uncle Frank introduced Dad to Mom, he said he just would wrap me up in those big old arms and said he'd love me and said, I want to get married. Is that about right?
Yeah, in no time.
In no time. Want to get married in no time, soon. So she got married, and they come over here, live with Grandpa Hayes and Grandmother Hayes, and Mom was caretaker, helped be caretaker for those two, and Dad raised his family here, and that's how Cathy and Susie and I ended up at this house. We were the last three born in this house. I guess you saw on the back of your little program that you may have got a little write-up about the Hayes family, Fred and Maggie Hayes. This is the original house. Dad said it had been remodeled many times. And the best that Susan Stokes, my first cousin, second cousin on that side, Josie and Susan, seems that Uncle Herm also built a house about the same time, maybe even the same year. We're not quite sure. And he just built down the road here, right down the end of Hayes Road here. This road ended originally at his house until it was extended on out to the highway. And Susan and I think that Grandpa Hayes and Uncle Herman Hayes must have been very close as brothers to have built so close together. So once again, another example of Hayes friendship and loyalty. My husband is Donnie Taylor, and we've been married, how many years, Donnie?
3.
We've been married since 1969, so you just do the math.
Great year.
Great year, 69. And I have one son, Dwayne Taylor, and I'm going to let him introduce his family.
I'm Dwayne Taylor. Who am I? I'm the son of Donnie and Linda Taylor, and I'm married to a wonderful lady who's originally from South Africa, Karen Taylor, and have two knucklehead kids. Everybody thinks they're wonderful. I know the real kid, and they're the ones with the hippie hair. I don't know how this has happened, but yeah, good genes. And but Jacob and Jonathan Taylor, they're 12 and 10.
And I'm Cathy Hayes Godwin, and this is my husband, Sandy Godwin, and he's just been a wonderful blessing in my life, and he just loves to come here, and he's just really a fine fella, and we've had lots of memories here. We always are on the road. We live in Atlanta, Georgia, and we have burned 85 up and down, all the holidays and vacations, and but it's really been great. We wouldn't be anywhere else during these special occasions. So thank you all for coming. Victor?
I'm Victor Thomas. I married the youngest of the 3 daughters, Susie. We have a beautiful and smart daughter that takes after her mother, Maggie, and her boyfriend, and I think this is Kenny Velez. I think they've been dating now how many years? Almost 7 years. So
It's about time. It's about time.
It's about time.
we're waiting on news, Don. But I've got no pressure. Maggie just graduated a year ago from Winkett University, and now she's doing online courses for her master's degree in library science with Appalachian State. And I'm very proud of her, very proud of her. She's strong-willed. I don't know, that may come a little bit from both sides of the family. But I got one story I can remember. We all went to the beach one time down to Long Beach. And Steve and Maggie was about 8 years old, I guess. They were playing Scrabble and playing poker, and I wasn't paying much attention, but I looked over and I said, "Steve, you're cheating." And he said, "Well, it's just the way that I do things." I said, "But this is your granddaughter." Didn't matter. Didn't matter. But that's one story I had, and I'm going to turn it back over to Linda.
Yes, don't anybody misunderstand. The baby in Donnie's arms belongs to Donnie and someone else, not mine. This is Catherine's baby, little Evelyn, I think. Is that whose baby you got, Donnie? Well, Donnie loves babies and children, so be careful. He'll be holding all the babies. And thank all of y'all for being here. She was born on Donnie's birthday on March the 22nd. And Catherine, we appreciate you doing that accommodation for us.
16 years apart.
I just wanted to add one thing. Susie and I celebrated our 26th wedding anniversary yesterday.
Whoa. And Skip Long had a birthday yesterday, is that right?
Yep.
I think. Happy birthday, Skip.
39.
Okay, thank y'all so much. At this time, I just would like to take one moment to recognize 3 people that are here that are friends and extended relatives. Mr. Stephen DeFore over here. Stephen married Rachel Eason. Stephen, we're glad to have you with us, Steve. And Rachel is Ellen and Peggy's aunt on the Eason side. So glad to have you with us, Steve. And then Miss Louise Price is sitting right up front here, and she is been a companion and friend to us for the last several years with Mom, and it's just been a real joy to get to know you. She's a local Union County girl.
I'm Eleanor. I'm the old one, and this is my family. I was married to Grayson Hayes. Somebody might have to talk for me. My throat's drowned up. But anyway, he was, and I have one daughter, Kay, and 3 sons, Roger and Kent and Don, and that's birth order. And I am blessed, and I have one memory that came to me while I was sitting over there. I was looking at the house and remembering the first time that Grayson brought me out here to see this house. And on that side of the house, there was a long porch, and they had picked cotton, and there was at one end, it was stacked up with cotton, and there were children that would just jump up in that pile of cotton before it was taken to where you take it to have it, the gin. And I have wonderful memories here, and I'm glad to live close by. Mother Hayes was a sweetheart. She wanted Grayson to, after he came out of the war, she wanted Grayson to live close to her, so we bought a streak of land next door here, and that's where I live now with Roger in Georgia, and it's a wonderful family, and I'm proud of them. And should we? Do I need to? I don't need to introduce everybody. You just introduce yourselves.
Okay. I'm Mom's only daughter, and so proud of it. I would just like to introduce my family. My husband, we got married in 1969, and you do the math. Then did I tell him your name is Phil? Phil Antis. Anyway, this is my oldest daughter. Her name is Eleanor. She was named after me and my mom. So she's the first Eleanor, I'm the second, and she's the third. Let's see. Philip. Philip, raise your hand. He is named after his dad, but he's my son in the second, and he is married to Katie, and he has two children, my two grandsons, Philip and Charlie. So sometimes when you were the first person in the family, you got all the names, and the rest of the people in the family had to have a creative name. Anyway, then there's Catherine, and she is married to Eric, who couldn't come today. She has two beautiful girls, and Vera. Vera, come up here and stand quick. Okay, give a little curtsy. and of course Evelyn, and I named Evelyn Donnie Taylor Ferguson. Not really. Anyway, that's our family, and thank you, and we're glad to be here today.
I'm Kent Hayes. This is my son Lane. He went to the University of South Carolina. We're proud of it. We got him through there with all that kind of revelry. We certainly did. Gracie and I celebrated our anniversary, 40th, just last weekend, and that's been a long, really enjoyable trial for us. We've been through some, journey's not over. We've been through some good times and some bad times, but I think somebody was saying earlier that the Hayeses have a tendency to really try to stick it out, and in those good times and bad times, we did. She has a strong constitution, and so do I, and we just tried to make things work the best we possibly could, and it seems that we're getting toward the end of that journey, and because we're so much older, and have enjoyed it and look forward to what's
a lot of people have asked me, Don, are you the youngest one in the family? And I go, well, I'm the youngest one in my family, but I'm not the youngest one in the family. And so I know that Susie Hayes is younger than me, and I know that David is younger than me. And so is there anybody younger than us, Cathy, other than Susie and David?
David Bly.
Huh?
David Bly.
David Bly. Thank you. So I'm Don Hayes, my mom, and I'm Grayson's youngest son, and this is my wife, Deborah. And we have two children, Spencer and Rebecca. And Spencer is married to Jennifer. And Jennifer has Tyler and Grant and Avery. So that's our family. Spencer graduated from Georgia Tech. Rebecca graduated from the University of Georgia. And so we now live in Duluth, Georgia, Johns Creek, and Atlanta. So Rebecca lives in downtown Atlanta, and so it's we have a wonderful time in Georgia. We also have enjoyed coming up here and seeing everybody here. When I was growing up, around here, Dad used to make us work in the summertime. And so, we were going, why do we need to plant a garden, Dad? And it was farm work. We were at the farm. And of course, he also didn't believe in fences for our cows, at least not good ones. And so the cows were always getting out, and so, Dad never could teach Kent and I how to put the cows up. We always had to run them. So you get them running as hard as they can go, and then you find out if you can run faster than they can and cut them off to make them turn into, the enclosure that they need to go into. So it worked out great because we turned out to be pretty good football players. But, then Dad, of course, a lot of times that would fail, and Dad would, come and just gently walk up to the cows and gently herd them, and they'd go anywhere he wanted them to go. And just, it's just amazing how good Dad was with those cows and all the farm work that he did back then. But also, when we planted the garden in the summer times, in the spring and summer, we always had to borrow Uncle Herm's mule. And so we'd come over and get the mule. So of course, we'd just ride the tractor over or whatever, and we'd get that mule, and then Dad would, with the mule and the plows, he would tell the mule, I think, to go left is, which one is G and Ha? Ha goes left, and G goes right. So to get the row going straight down through there to make the rows for the garden, he was constantly going ha ha G G. And so he would, and the mule would, move left and right as Dad told it to. And then, of course, all summer long, we'd be out there hoeing that garden and picking those tomatoes and canning and, eating watermelon in the summer times. And it was just actually a really great time, growing up. But then hay season would come. And since we had cows, we had to bale hay. And so once again, we had to go over to Uncle Herm's house because Uncle Herm had this huge hay trailer. And we'd stack that hay way up on that trailer. And, and then, if you got on top, we all got to ride on the hay ride. But sometimes those bales of hay would just fall over and, we'd crash. And so there was, but we didn't die. And so that was a good thing. And so it was good. And as a matter of fact, after I had gotten to know this redhead over here, Dad said, I need somebody to drive the tractor, Don, so that you and I can get out there and pick up those bales of hay. And doggone if she wasn't the best tractor driver that he'd ever seen. And so those were some great times. So thanks everybody for coming. Enjoyed seeing every one of you and have enjoyed meeting all you young folks, and look forward to
I'm Susan Stokes. I live right down the hill. I was Herman Hayes' only granddaughter for a long time until my cousin came along, Hayes, with the wonderful Hayes name, Hayes Griffin. And my mom, Josie, was the oldest of Herman and Eula's children. And then Aunt Shirley, which is Hayes' mom, they live in Atlanta, and she just did not feel like she could make the trip. And then all of you know Tom Bubber, as we called him, the one that always said the Irish blessing at all the Hayes reunions. We lost him in 2015, and I inherited the home place, and we've totally redone it. And it's a beautiful little house that Grandpa and Uncle Fred built in 1921. Then they had a barn raising and built the barn. So I've lived on Hayes Road all my life and loved every minute of it. I'm blessed to be half Hayes
because they're loving, kind, hugging people. And I have two daughters, Shara Jo, right here, and her husband David, their son Tristan, Samantha, her husband Bruce, Maddie, Jacob, Ellie Jo, and Josie Ray, which is named after Mother, and Mother was named after her grandmother. So we got like 4 generations of Josies. So, and this is my husband Byron. We've been married next week 42 years. So we've been married all our life. And I love my family. I love all you guys. And when I got the note that Linda and Cathy and Susie and Karen were doing this, I was so very excited. So they've let me be a little part of it and do things, and I've enjoyed every second of it, because they're like my sisters, because we played together when we were little, and because I was just down the hill, and Susie and I rode our bicycles all over the place, played on the railroad track. We did all these neat things, and that you can't do this day and time because times have changed. But thank you so much, Cathy, Susie, and Linda, and Margie, for putting this on and letting us get to see everyone again. So anybody want to say anything? Oh, sorry. Hayes married Becca. Becca is from Australia.
Wow.
And they have 2 lovely children, Rylan, who is 4, and Bryce, who is 3. And they live in Atlanta on Lake Lanier. And so they came up last night, and it was good to get to spend a little time with them. We stayed up a little late, but enjoyed every minute of it.
Very honored to be able to, and blessed to be able to have this Hayes name. And my son Bryce found a frog here. Kind of reminds me of what I remember about growing up here.
Up here.
Yeah, and the best memories. Glad to be here.
So probably some of you want to know, how are the Garrisons related to the Hayeses? Well, I'm going to tell you. There was 2 sisters, 2 sister Hayeses that were Fred Hayes' 2 sisters, Maud, and I can't remember the other one's name, married 2 Garrisons, 2 brothers. So there was quite a few double first cousins because 2 sisters married 2 brothers. So my grandmother is Maud Abigail Hayes, okay? So now you can try to get the relationship of where we're going. This is my husband, Pat. This is my sister, Frances. We are C.J. Garrison, Jake Garrison's daughters. This is my son, Edward. Edward just graduated from Florida State with his master's. He's going to be leaving me in August. He is going to Arizona for his doctorate.
Wow.
And this is his girlfriend, Rachel. She is also at Florida State. And at this time, we're not sure where she's going to be going from there. So the story that I moved away from Charlotte back in 1980 and kind of got away from reunions, wasn't much in them. So in 2000, and moved to Florida and have been there ever since. So in 2004, I get this phone call one Sunday night. And there's this sweet little woman on the phone, and she said, "Are you C.J. Garrison's daughter? And is he from Monroe? And did you live in Charlotte?" And I was like, yes, to all the questions. The person who had called me was Eleanor Hayes. She had moved to Boynton Beach, where I was. She had been looking at a family history and saw Cathy Garrison Marshall and decided to call me.
we had decided we were going to make a lunch date. But before we could have the lunch date, we ran into Hurricane Francis. So we had to do it after Hurricane Francis and Jean and 2 other ones. So we finally got together, we talked, and up on the wall, she had a huge picture of all the Hayeses and the great-grandparent Hayeses. And I said, where did you get this? And she said, well, these are old pictures, and she says, Steve has some of them. I said, well, I want one. So we decided to call Steve. Steve had one left of all of the great aunts and uncles of Fred's and his parents. And so back in around 2005 or 6, when I flew up here for Christmas, my sister and I actually came down here to Steve's house, and Steve presented me with that picture of all of the aunts and uncles and the grandparents. I have that picture today. I am so honored to have it, and I can truly say we do enjoy being a Hayes. Eleanor had sent me an email saying, we are having a Hayes reunion, and I really want you to come. So I took it upon myself. We booked the flights. We got up at 3 o'clock this morning.
Oh my God.
So, Eleanor, here we are. Thank you so much for inviting us. We really appreciate it. And we love you bunches. Thank you so
Heavenly
much.
Father, we want to thank you for all of your many blessings, as we know that because of you, we have been blessed. We've been blessed with such rich lives, such great memories, and such a close-knit family group that we thank you for all of these blessings. We ask that you be with those who, after this weekend, will be traveling some great distances. Ask that you give them traveling mercies. Our dear Heavenly Father, now as we take of this food, please help us to be thankful for all that we are, all that we have, and all that we will be given in the future. Bless this food now to our bodies and us to thy service. Amen.
Yeah, Becca's getting it.
All right, this is Hayes Griffin and his beautiful daughter. God, wait a minute. What is your name?
Riley.
Okay, now here's the question. Are you really, really pretty, or are you smart too?
I'm pretty and smart.
She's pretty and smart. And Hayes, we remember you from being a little boy. How old are you now?
I am 46.
I tell you, I hope my son gets in here in a little bit and sees you. And you came all the way from Atlanta?
Yes, we live in Cummings, Georgia.
Cummings, Georgia.
Yeah.
Well, do you ever see Spencer and Jennifer?
Don came up and saw us, but Spencer sat down next to me, and I looked at him. I said, "Is that Spencer?"
Wow.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Now you, I think it was your dad who was a car dealer.
That was his hobby.
That was his hobby. Well, he sold my dad, I think a 46 Ford, or maybe it was a 51 Ford, which I went on my first date in. So I owe a lot to your daddy.
Is that right?
Yeah, man.
Well, your husband taught me how to drive.
Are you serious?
Yeah, in a van back here. Long time ago.
That is wild.
He set me up on his lap and let me drive.
Awesome. All right, pal.
Okay.
We'll talk to you later.
Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Riley. Kathy, tell me a little bit about how far you come to be here.
I come from Stuart, Florida, which is about 45 minutes north of West Palm Beach. This morning I got up at 3 o'clock in the morning, left Stuart at 4 o'clock, and had a 6:15 flight out of West Palm Beach to Charlotte, North Carolina to come to the Hayes reunion.
Oh my Lord, that's unbelievable. Now, Don, are you not hugging her a little close? I mean, I don't know. Watch out now.
Yeah. Now, you know, now, did you ever get one of the Hayes introductions? Well,
maybe.
I'm keeping up. Uncle Frank used to do the Hayes hug.
I can't tell you.
Always with their hands, right?
I couldn't understand that.
Yes.
And I remember my sister and I always talking about our grandmother saying the Hayes men. So I'm right here with two of them right now.
That's right, and you're in danger.
It's
extreme danger.
It's the Hayes men.
Yes.
All right, well, let's go get some lunch. I think this conversation probably ought to...
I think we've probably had enough.
Now, Billy, did you just call me big boy?
Boy.
Wait a minute. That doesn't seem like it's right. That implies I'm a fat boy. And that hurts my feelings. Now, girls, did you know that I thought your mother, your grandmother, I guess, was about the most beautiful woman I ever saw? Did you know that? Uh-huh. Well, you agree, Natalie, you agree with that? Now, Natalie, how old are you?
12.
Huh?
12.
All right, now look at me a minute. You're 12 years old. Are you smart or are you just pretty? You're smart too? All right, well, that's really good. Well, what about Claire? Claire, are you just pretty or are you smart too? Oh, no kidding. I can tell. All right, here's the last question. Are you also athletic?
I will be because I'm going to tennis camp.
Going to where?
Tennis camp.
Oh, no kidding. So you'll know all about tennis and everything. Okay. All right, well, let me ask you a question. Are your mom and dad real nice to you or are they real mean? Huh?
They're in the middle.
Huh?
They're in the middle.
Down the middle? Wes, you seem like you are laughing over here. What kind of answer are you worried about getting?
I think, I don't know. What do you think, Claire? Sometimes I think that's probably about right.
Yeah, it is right.
So Claire, if you take after your, you're smart and pretty.
Yes.
Do you take after your mother or your daddy?
My dad.
Oh! Melissa, does this hurt?
So hurtful.
Well,
is it surprising?
All I can tell you is Melissa, you maybe got a lot of smarts from your daddy, but you got your beauty and good looks from your mother. Let me tell you that. And Natalie, so did you.
Natalie looks like mom.
She does? Oh, she does. You're right.
And I look like my dad.
You do? No, you definitely look like a girl. I don't think you look like a boy. All right. This is the Self family who just are part of the crowd around here for a long time, and it has been some great times. Pastor, you got anything to say?
I'm so blessed.
Isn't it the truth?
Every day. I look at these four and they're my whole life.
Their whole life.
Along with my love and my life here.
Yeah, well, that goes without saying.
Yeah.
But now, you pretty much are still up in Virginia. You didn't want to get down here any closer, like to these grandchildren, do you?
I'm in South Carolina now.
Huh?
South Carolina.
Well, now, why would you move down here? Well, I mean, what's down here that would draw you down here?
Look right here. This is what brought me.
Oh, these two girls?
Yeah.
Actually, I'm just...
to live like near our house and then you moved with us. Oh, I know. I have to move where you go.
Believe me, I knew that. I'm just teasing you. All right. Now this right here is one of the great families of all time. And Vic, I don't know why I'm letting you talk. It ought to be Susie. She's much better looking than you are. You know that, don't you?
And smart.
Yeah. Oh, Lord. Herb, we appreciate you coming today, sir.
I'm enjoying it. That's why I'm more often.
I hear that. Isn't that the truth? Well, let me tell you, you got a good son. You got a fine son.
I got another one, too, that's a good son.
You do have another boy? Okay. Now, who's this young man right here?
I'm Brent Mullis. I'm Vic's cousin.
Vic's cousin.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my Uncle Herb.
Okay, Uncle Herb. Okay, I got it.
Mom and my mom are sisters.
Okay.
Fred and I are
all right. Now,
Brent's 59, and I just turned 60, and not only are we first cousins, we've been best friends for that whole length of time.
Are you serious? Are you serious?
We kept in touch all these years.
Whole time.
Wow, that is awesome.
We hunt together, shoot together, tell a few lies.
And he's a gunsmith.
Oh, you're the gunsmith.
Yes, sir.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, Vic's bragging on how good you
Well,
are.
I appreciate that.
He said you can fix it up anything you want to. Just build them and customize them, do anything you want to.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I'm not bragging as long as you can
Back it up.
back it
As
up.
long as you can deliver it.
Yeah.
Kenny, how do you get over here now? Huh? How do you know? You got to tell me, because see, even though I know about you and Maggie, 100 years from now when people are looking at this, and even though you'll still be here, I won't. And so you got to tell me, what are you doing now? You're working towards a pharmacy degree or a doctor's degree?
A doctor's degree for radiology, but I'm working in a pharmacy right now.
Oh, okay. Fantastic. When do you expect to get done?
6 more years.
Oh my gosh. Is it that long, including the internship? Wow. That is unbelievable.
That's including the residency, yeah.
Including
The residency,
internship and the residency, I'm sorry. All right, and now this is your daughter,
That's
right?
right. This is
All right,
Allison.
and tell me your name.
I'm Allison.
Allison. Okay. Well, I tell you what, you are a good, beautiful girl, and I think here's the big question: are you keeping him out of trouble?
Oh yeah.
Sometimes
I help him make trouble.
Do you know how to make? Do you know how to work on the guns?
Oh no.
But you shoot. Tell them you shoot.
Yeah, I've shot a few times.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Hi, Maggie. I got it working finally. Now, here's the question: what are you doing for Eleanor Hayes that has just been absolutely fantastic? Just what?
Well, I've been keeping her company for a couple nights, and so.
You haven't been keeping company. You've been totally taking care of her. Thank you so much, and I can't tell you how much it's just almost brought my mom back to life. I mean, you know, to be honest about it, we've heard all her stories. She's heard all our stories, so it's not like we have a lot to talk about. But when my wife and I were out of town the other night, and we called back. And my mom said, I said, Mom, are you okay? Do you miss us or anything? She says, oh no, Maggie's here. And you won't believe it, but we're talking about our first kiss that each of us ever got. So I'm not sure I want to hear any more about that story, but thank you so much for what you're doing. All right, you got to give me the names so it's here for history.
Okay, I'm Wilbur Helms.
Okay.
I'm Margie's sister-in-law. I'm Donald's wife.
Right. Right.
You know who I am.
Oh, I know. I know who you are, but I want you to know the cameras. Well, we're sorry that we missed Donald.
Yes, we missed Donald.
Sorry to have lost
Missed
him.
him a lot.
Yeah,
Missed him a lot.
absolutely.
But we're doing okay.
You look fine.
And Margie invited me to come, and I just came.
Absolutely, I love it. All right, let's see. I got one. This right here is one of the great Americans and the great Hayeses of all time. His daddy was Frank, but more importantly, his mama was Pete. And I tell you what, we love the both of them. You know that, Craig?
Oh, yes.
Now, Craig, how long you been married now?
22 years.
Well, it'll be 23 in December.
Well, do you know the difference between complete and finished?
It's whatever she says.
I like it. I like it. Well, the definition of complete is when you find the right woman, you're complete. And if you find the wrong woman, you'll be finished. So that's the
So then that could go both ways, really.
I guess it could. It really could. But let's see who we're talking about here. Denise, is he a hard man to live with?
Sometimes.
Oh, come on. Now, you're supposed to lie.
I'm not lying.
You're not lying? He is?
He is.
Well, I'll tell you, he's a good man, and I know
He
the two
is.
of you, net, have been real happy.
The main parts really count.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's good.
Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you, I know you're awful good to Aunt Pete, and we sure miss her.
Oh, I loved her.
Yeah, I know.
I'm glad I had a chance to get to know my mother-in-law and be with her all those years, and she told me a lot of stories. And
Not about your first kiss, I hope.
Well, we share some things.
All right, thanks. All right, Aunt Margie, tell me your whole name, every first, last, first, middle, and last.
Margie Hayes.
Hayes. I tell you what, and thank you so much for letting us come back here. Has this been kind of a pain to let all these people walk in your house and use the bathroom, mess up everything?
No, been good.
It's been good. All right. Well, thank you so much for letting us come back here. I tell you, it's a special place, and we've already seen a lot of memories here.
Good.
Yeah, no kidding. Now, next, I have my sweet wife. Now, Georgia, tell me your whole name for future reference.
Georgia Pierce Hayes, for future reference.
All right. And let me ask you this: how do you like being a Hayes?
Oh, it's terrific.
No,
just terrific.
Now you know I have this on tape, so I'll be able to point this out and use this.
Use this to your advantage, I'm sure.
If you ever try and divorce me, I'll be pulling this out. You know that, don't you?
Oh, okay.
All right. All right.
You'll
now,
be pulling more out than that.
Whoops. Now, here is maybe the prettiest 4-year-old girl here in the whole place.
Tell them how old you are. You're not 4.
I'm 6.
You're 6 years old? I thought you were 4. Okay, so are you just pretty, or are you smart too?
He can do it. He can work on the car too. Yeah. Okay. No. Talk to him.
All right, do you look like your mommy or your daddy?
Mommy.
No kidding. You are absolutely a beautiful girl. All right, now tell me your whole name for future reference.
Avery Elizabeth Hayes.
Avery Elizabeth Hayes. And will you introduce your mother to me? What's her full name?
Jennifer's only Hayes.
No kidding. Okay. Jennifer, let me ask you, is Avery a good girl, or do you have to spank her sometimes?
Sometimes she can be feisty, but she's a good girl. She's a very sweet girl.
I love it. All right, well, my grandson Ben is going to be here in a little bit. He can't wait to see Avery. And Avery, you know what we're going to do?
What?
I'm going to hold him down, and you give him a spanking.
No.
Yes, I want you to give him a spanking,
No.
and I mean it.
No.
Oh, all right. Deborah, give me your whole name for future reference.
Oh, yeah.
Deborah Lee Beatonbow Hayes.
Wow, I tell you what.
No, that's a mouthful in it.
Now, you got probably two of the most fun, beautiful children. But how is it to have these grandchildren?
Awesome.
Huh?
Awesome, because I get to spoil them and then send them home.
I like that a lot. All right. All right, well, I'm going to come on around the table here. All right, Rebecca, give me your whole name.
Rebecca Lee Hayes.
All right, and Rebecca, you don't have any children yet for your mom and granddad, but I think there's a lot of Irish boys who are available.
We're going to find out.
I like it. When are you going to Ireland?
Monday.
What? I didn't know about that.
I'm going on Monday.
Okay.
I had to book my flight so I could be here for this.
Oh my gosh.
Ask her where else she's going.
Where else are you going?
I'm going to Ireland and London and Norway and Holland and back to Ireland.
Are you serious? All right, Spencer, I'll tell you what's it like to be a Hayes?
It's, I wouldn't know how to be any other way.
I hear that. I hear that. Well, now, you don't have a real job. You're like self-employed, and you have to, scratch around from job to job, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, how is your new business going?
It's going well. It's going very well.
No kidding. I say new business. You've been in it for a long time, but
yeah, we're doing well. We're trying to grow a little bit and keep paying the mortgage and.
I understand that.
Food on the table.
Well, you don't like the Boy Scouts, is that correct? You wouldn't have your children associated with that.
No, they are both Boy Scouts. They're doing very well.
How are they? Are they going to be Eagles?
Yes. If I have anything, yeah, there you go.
No kidding. Listen to that.
I don't even have to. hem and haw about it. Yeah, they're both on track and hopefully sufficiently motivated to make it to the finish line.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it, man.
We do IT support.
So how do you like this? Isn't this something?
Oh, I'm so impressed.
Install.
Yeah, Aunt Margie and her daughters are just amazing. Of course, they had probably a little help from their husbands. You think so?
Oh, they had
It's been good.
a lot of
You know,
help with
a
their
lot of times
husbands and with
normal
Raj.
IT.
Oh well, I didn't do much. I'll tell you that much. But anyway, well, so what's it like to live back in the old home place where you raised your 4 children and you were gone from there for 30 years? What's it like to move back in over there?
Most out of
It's
the
like
software.
down and going to heaven.
Oh, Mom.
It's not working very well.
Oh, I'll tell you what, you seem happy and looking good, and glad to be here, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Exact same thing.
Exact same thing. Many memories here. And first time Grayson brought me out here to see his family.
She's also a sass consultant.
Did those young boys, Frank and Steve, give you one of those Hayes hugs where they grabbed your cheeks?
Yeah,
they.
So as soon as she gets back from her
just
trip,
staring at me.
I got you. They'll tease in a minute, though, wouldn't they?
Oh, really? They wanted to see me and wanted to know what I looked like.
Uh-huh.
Me and my partner Michael.
That's as far as I got.
I like it. I like it. All right, now sitting over here next to you
Margie, how are you doing?
is your old boy Don.
I've already had
I like it. I like it.
I was here for all of
Don, you came in late last night and stayed up night before last and stayed up real late talking to everybody. I tell you what, did you find out anything new?
No.
Nothing?
Nothing new.
All right. But
everything is really good, though.
Everything's really good. Well, I tell you what, you're a good man, and appreciate you coming in here.
I really know that Mother just loves living back in the old home place.
You think she does?
I know she does.
Well, I tell you what,
It's a wonderful thing.
she's love, that's for sure.
And I love the old home place. I'll tell you what, it was just wonderful coming back in there and
really
and seeing everything that's being done, the windows, and the amazing thing is the reduction in drafts. I mean, it's amazing. It's just, so I love that house.
Yeah. We had a
good.
good time growing up there. Thanks to this woman right here.
Yeah.
Mama, thanks for being such a good mama to all of us.
Well, thank you for being good. I had 4 good children.
I love it. All right. Posterity, after I'm dead, nobody will know who you are. So you have to give your whole name to the camera.
My name is Jonathan Henry Taylor.
Okay. And are you pretty much into rock and roll with that hair? Huh? Or are you just like a hippie?
I'm in the 21st century. We don't have hippies or rock and roll stars anymore.
There aren't any hippies nowadays?
No.
Oh, well, how about rock and roll?
I mean, that was the 80s and 70s.
The 80s and 70s? Wow.
Yeah.
Well, so were you born back then? Do you remember those days?
No, I was born in the 21st century.
In the 21st century?
Yes.
Well, you know, Jonathan, I'm just kidding you. Are you going to be ready for a hike in a little bit?
Yeah, sure. I'll be
Okay.
ready.
Okay. Well, I don't want you chickening out.
I'm not a chicken.
We should have rain clouds.
I like it. Don Peterson, I couldn't be any better. Give me your whole name.
Donald Francis Alfred Peterson.
I love it. I love it. You have Francis and Alfred.
Well, Francis was my confirmation name.
Okay.
And then my communion name, and then my confirmation name was. In the Catholic religion, you go to 2 steps before you.
Now, is Catholic is that Christian?
Yes.
Okay.
Very, very, very
Don, you can't be on the Hayes Hill without somebody teasing you about something, can you?
Absolutely, but I've been here long enough and often enough that it doesn't bother me one bit. I'm expecting it and I'm used to it.
You know, that was actually a great story about how Becky lived with your family for a good Italian family, and
they took care of her like they were her own. She was.
I bet. I know that's true.
And she would sit on. We had high steps leading up to our house. We had a slanted lot, so the house was level. We had a garage, a basement down below the old, where the guy would come with a coal truck and.
Oh yeah, the chute.
Run the coal down.
Right.
And the steps there were there were probably 12 steps up to get in our front door. And we always had people sitting. It was big enough up there for a couple of chairs. My mother always had guests from the neighborhood.
Yeah, really?
And they would all talk about Becky and how they got to take care of Becky, and they just loved her to death.
I'll tell you.
And although she missed, obviously being with me, but it worked out wonderful.
I think it's all worked out just fine. Well, I'm telling you, it sounds like your kids are just doing great. I mean, Goldman Sachs and all other stuff in New York and Penn State must be a pretty good school.
Ask the man here.
I'll tell you. All right, let me get another. All right, talk to me, Matt. Talk to me. Well, first of all, give me your whole name.
Okay, Matthew Charles Wagner.
Okay.
I'm the son of Dave and Pam Wagner, and then grandchildren of Becky Hayes and Donald Peterson.
Right. And you good looking like your granddad.
I guess so.
And so tell me, what's Penn State like?
A lot of fun. You got to mix everything.
Yeah.
Pretty much anything you want to do. If you're into sports, there's all sports going on there. Good,
well, is after all that scandal with Sandusky and what was Paterno, is that all over now and the football team's back?
It's it was tough for all the students to kind of get over that for a while, but we've kind of put it in the past. Everybody's kind of tried to forget about that and move forward with the school. And the football team's back. This is the first year they've done really well in a long time.
Yeah, I saw them this last year.
Yeah.
They're just incredible.
And it's so exciting up at school. The team's doing good. Everybody's so happy all the time.
Seriously?
Yeah. It's
I mean, it really makes a difference in the student body?
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's really amazing. All right, so now what are you doing? Are you...
So I just graduated from Penn State a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
And I'm moving down to Atlanta to work.
You're the one going to Atlanta. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So I'm working for a Siemens Corporation.
Siemens?
Yep.
Well, everybody knows Siemens.
Oh, okay.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah, doing some engineering stuff for them.
But don't you have two two grandchildren in New York?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So
We have Adam, who is our oldest grandchild.
Okay.
And grandson, obviously. He used to work for Chubb Insurance.
Okay.
And of course he had shared an apartment with a couple of guys, and one of his room buddies worked for a private insurance company. And Adam, after his first year, was kind of bored with the work he was doing. They put him more in accounting, and that was not his field. He's a people person.
He liked the action.
He wanted more
put me in the front office, not the back office.
His roommate said to him, Adam, we've got an opening if you want to put in an application. And he did, and he got the job, and he is absolutely loving it.
Fantastic.
And we just had him and his significant other. They're moving into an apartment right now.
Well, they won't be living in sin. Where is she living?
They're living in sin.
Oh.
Yeah, no question.
You know I'm videotaping this, don't you?
That's all right. They just spent a weekend with us at our place down the beach, and Becky said, well, we're having the first unmarried couple have sex in our
I don't need any more. Actually, I've heard enough.
That's the prosperity. You got to live with it. You got to live with it.
Listen, it's the 21st century, right?
And they're just moving. That was a long weekend before they got a chance to move into their new apartment right in Staten Island, looking at the Statue of Liberty and the
wow.
Water. And they're just so excited. They're like kids in a
I tell you, it's all good.
Really, and this was their last hurrah,
Got it.
So it was great.
All right, well, now, Skip, I want to know the honest truth. If Margaret wasn't your cousin, would you marry her?
In a minute.
I would too. I would too.
I would have to fight you for it.
Oh, well, I don't know about that.
Roger,
yeah?
if you weren't my first cousin and if Skip wasn't my first cousin, I would marry you both in a minute.
Seriously?
Yeah.
It would probably take both of us too.
It'd probably take both of us.
Do we need to move to West Virginia?
Now, wait a minute. Are you living in West Virginia now?
No, I'm living in Gainesville, Virginia.
Okay. Oh, you mean West Virginia because of the, never mind.
Exactly.
Now, Skip, you had a little, you were sick for a while, but you look okay.
I'm fine. I'm good.
All right.
I'm back to 95%.
95%. Well, buddy, you look 101 to me. I'll tell you.
I want to say a few things to our young people out there.
Tell it.
I want to tell them about my first memories of the home place here.
Tell it.
And I was just telling Karen and Maggie here about it.
Speak up just a little bit.
Okay. When I first remembered this place, it was during the Second World War.
Okay.
And all the men, your dad, my dad,
Yep.
Uncle Steve, all of them.
Nelson, God almighty.
They were overseas. They were either in the Philippines or they were over in Germany.
Right.
And so all the daughters came home to help their dad with the harvest of the cotton.
Are you serious? I didn't know that.
And I was like, I was probably 4 years old, and I swear I remember this.
Okay.
My mom made me a little bag that I carried out and all out here. Susan's place wasn't here, of course. Linda's place wasn't here, and that was all cotton down there. And I mean, it was just big pieces of cotton.
I actually remember that.
Okay, and our mothers would be down there picking cotton with these big bags behind them. And
The women.
All the women, all the daughters, and we little kids would be. Of course, you weren't even born yet, but Ellen and Becky we were all down there, just little kids, following our moms.
Now,
around.
I have never heard this story. Is that true?
Yes, it's true. I swear to you, it's true. I did not dream this. And but all down there was beautiful, beautiful cotton. And of course, you go over here, and there was a shed for. I don't think we had a tractor, but there's a big shed there.
Right.
You go on down right over there. There was an outhouse.
Okay.
And then you go over here, and there was a where the chickens were.
Oh my
God! Past that, and there was a big pig pen.
Did you ever see them kill chickens?
Oh hell yes!
I mean, that was a shock to me when my dad first time I remember to this day he made me hold his chicken, and while he cut his head off.
Well,
and was that not the awfulest thing?
Well, I can remember Steve or Frank, either one, and all us kids would be out there. He'd grab that chicken by the head and he'd put it down there. And I don't know how he didn't cut off his hand. He'd chop its head off and immediately throw it out there, and he was jumping. He'd be jumping.
Oh, that was awful.
Throwing blood all over the place.
Oh.
Of course, us boys, we thought that was fun. It was really fun.
They grow up and they poop.
And then on the other side of the pig pen, of course, let me tell you about when they would kill a pig.
Yep.
They would take it, or tree right over there someplace, and they would hoist that pig up in the tree.
Right.
They'd take that 55-gallon drum, put a fire under it, and drop it down. In
The whole pig?
The whole pig right down there in the water. It was gutted.
Right.
And they'd drop it down there, so I guess it would loosen up the hair on the outside so they could scrape the hair
Then
off.
you have to scrape the hair off the...
And then they would go ahead and make the hand.
Such a different day. I mean, we don't even know where meat comes from now, I don't think.
And then you go on around, sort of over the hill over there. That was where the barn was.
Yep,
and
yep.
We had a cow or two cows, I can't remember. But every time I'd go down there, if Steve or Frank was down there, they'd always spray us with milk.
With the milk and they'd spray you as you came by. Okay, okay.
And let's see, and then you go on over here. I think there was an orchard, a peach orchard down through there.
Right.
And I can remember Grandpa Hayes sitting there, peeling peaches and cutting them in chunks, giving them to all us kids. And
Are you serious?
And he would sit there for hours, and he would be cutting, and we would be there. We like little chickens, you know. And he'd get me one, and every once in a while he'd get one with a little dark spot in it, or a worm in it.
Oh.
And he'd try to give you the one with a worm in it, and you go, no, I don't want to get that worm. And then he'd get another one that was a little brown. Didn't really have a worm in it, but he would try to give it to you, and you'd say, no, and he'd say, don't be such a baby, and throw it in his mouth.
Oh, come on.
Chew it up, and we thought he was chewing up worms. And then he also had right over in that area, that's where they would do the sugar cane.
Okay.
You know, he didn't grow sugar cane, but he had a press.
And he'd do the molasses?
Yeah, he would do the molasses, and he would, I don't know what the percentage was, but for every 10, he got 2, I think.
Yeah, I got it.
Of gallons.
20%.
Yeah, 20%, because he could, and the farmers would come from all around.
Really? I never heard that. Now, I've heard the story about him having a machine that canned stuff in tin cans that blew up or something.
No, I never remember that. I remember the press because I remember the mule.
Yeah.
The mule that pulled it, and then we just go
Around and around.
and it's feed it in there.
I'm glad we're sort of past that mule days. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But anyway, it's good to be a Hayes, let me tell you.
Well, I'll tell you, I'll tell this group that Skip was absolutely my hero as the coolest cousin I knew when I was a little kid. I'm what? How old are you?
I'm 77.
Okay, so I was like 6 years old when you were, when I was 6, you were 13. Okay. And you always came up here and you had a knife in your back pocket. It was on your belt, and the knife was stuck down in your back pocket. And to this day, I remember that darn knife. I thought you were the coolest guy I'd ever met in my life.
I love that knife too, let me tell you. I think you tried to swipe it from me a couple
I might. Oh, where'd that knife go?
I got to tell you a story about Bruce.
Okay.
Bruce and I were the same age, and so when I came up here for the summer or whatever it was, well, Bruce and I always used to hang out.
Okay.
But I was the city boy and he was country boy.
Absolutely.
And so we were always trying to one-up.
To outdo each other,
yeah.
Right?
And you were always trying to tag along with us. But
y'all were cool.
You were trying to be a cool guy too. And sometimes we let you tag along, sometimes we didn't.
Yep.
Excuse me. Well, we thought we were the best with slingshots there were.
The best what?
With slingshots.
Oh my gosh.
And we would shoot at everything.
Right.
And anything.
Right.
Well, this one summer, his parents let him come down to Florida with us.
Oh my God.
And so, we played the normal games. Remember those games when you're going along the road and you'd count animals on the side?
Right.
And when it was white, when you got 2, and if we came to a dairy, you counted as fast as you could so you'd get to 100 first. Well, anyway, we got tired of that.
Okay.
And we're in the back seat. My mom and dad's in the front seat. And back then they didn't have air conditioning, so all the windows were down. And we got our slingshots out. I said,
in the car? You got your slingshots out in the car?
Yeah. And I said, let's lean out. And I don't want to say anything to our parents because I didn't think they would let us do it. And so we would shoot out the window at road signs as we went by.
You were kidding.
And so my dad, he saw us doing it. He said, wait. He said, if you're going to shoot out the window, you gotta lean out a little bit.
Are you serious?
And so remember, this wasn't super highways. These
right.
were 2-lane roads, and there wasn't very many cars.
Mailboxes right off the edge.
Yeah. Mailboxes, anything was legal, and we would, as competing as normal, he and I, we would get out, we would pull that thing back, and bam, we'd hit a road sign.
Right.
Okay. I did good. Bruce would get out there and hear, bam, and he'd miss it. I'd get out there again and go, bam, I'd hit that.
You would hit it and he would miss it.
Yeah, that's my story.
Oh.
Bruce and I, we just had such a good time.
Right.
He was a good guy.
Boy, I loved Bruce. I mean, he was something special, and I miss him to this day.
I do too.
He left us way too early.
Yeah, he sure did.
Yeah.
Sure did. I would love it that he would be here with us.
I know. All right, pal. You're the best. Thank you for your time, and you'll be seeing some of this. I may reserve the right.
You may have to cut a little.
I may have to cut a little bit just so it's not totally incriminating. Okay.
Great.
I tell you, we miss your mom and dad too, Aunt Susie, and I guess it's okay to call her Susie, isn't it?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Most people know her as Susie, not
Erla. Yeah.
But that was my dad's name for her. He named her Susie.
Yeah, I remember. All right, Margaret, are you going to keep him straight?
Well, I'm trying.
All right, and tell me a little bit about where you're living right now.
I'm living up in Northern Virginia. I retired
From the U.S. government?
From the government in July of 2010. So
Okay.
next month I will be retired for 7 years, and I'm living in Gainesville, Virginia. which
Okay.
is,
Okay.
You know, nice growing community, and enjoying my free time. And,
Well, we have we've always got a bedroom over at the old home place for you, girl. You hear me?
Thank you, Roger.
Come down here anytime.
Thank you.
All right.
Very special. I love you in Georgia so much.
Love you.
And I mean that, you know.
All right, we will. If you know what, I'm gonna use this video and that little wink you just gave me.
Okay.
I'm gonna send it to Skip. Say, see this, Skip? You see that damn wink she gave me?
That's right. That's right. Well, you know, you gotta love them when you love them.
That's exactly, isn't that the truth? Happiness is homemade.
Happiness is homemade.
You're on now, Edward. I got.
Doing good.
I like it. We got a little something from your mom, but hadn't heard from you. So you going to Arizona shortly?
Yes, sir. I will be going to Arizona. I'll be moving out there in the beginning of August.
Okay.
Start my doctoral program at the end of August, and then I'll be out.
Well,
there.
you didn't call it I didn't let you call it. You didn't want to call it a PhD. What is it actually?
It's called a doctorate in physical therapy.
Okay.
So a
Okay.
PhD, I would have been doing some research. I won't be doing research. I'll just be doing.
Have your attention,
more
please.
Education.
Okay.
The next part of this program is going to get
Well,
started, so I've been ordered to request.
Here's your question.
As you round up all the children, because they're supposed to sit up in this front row.
Wow. Hey, Edward,
I think
you're doing
Margie,
good in terms of the girl
Eleanor,
department. Wow.
Some special chairs right here for you, so we can start in.
You are Cathy's sister.
Right.
And I tell you what, she brags on you, and she's proud to have you as a sister. You know that?
Well, I can't help that.
Hey.
Yeah, that's just the way I am.
Hey, it's all good. It's all good. How much you love your sister, Cathy?
I love her a lot. She's my big sister.
Oh, big sister.
She's my big sister.
Well, she was telling me she's 15 years younger than you are.
Yeah, she's full of BS.
I'm 72. How old are you, Cathy?
63.
You know, for
9-year difference.
for $5, I can edit stuff like that out of this thing. You know that.
No, don't.
I'll let you take her by yourself.
I'm proud of it.
Yes, sir, Roger.
I can't let you. I can't leave you out of this conversation. How proud are you of Edward?
I am so proud of Edward. I'm more happy for him than anything I've ever done in my life.
Seriously?
Beyond anything
He is one great young man. But let me ask you this. Did you think he'd ever be able to get as good looking girl as he's got now?
Now, I got to tell you, Roger, in 6th grade, he had goo in his hair and a silver chain around his neck. He looked like the goofiest man on earth.
Edward?
Edward. So you can imagine how surprised I am about this.
Rachel, we are going to make you blush if we're not careful here. All right, it's all good. Pat, you got anything else for the group?
Just thrilled to be here.
All right, buddy.
Great invitation. Thanks.
I hear you.
Thanks. Hardly ever on Facebook, and I logged into my Facebook account. I'm mostly on Instagram, which is a social media account. And the other day, Eleanor Hayes followed me on Instagram, and I followed her back, so she's watching, taking photos and things. But I got a message on Facebook, and it was from Eleanor asking if I was coming to the Hayes reunion.
Now, wait a minute. Let me get this right. My mother knows about Instagram and Facebook?
Correct. Your mother knows all about the social media accounts. She is very handy and all that stuff. So, yes, that's how I got the invitation. And then I had spoke to Mother, and she emailed Mother. So, yes, and that's how we ended up coming here.
Wow.
All through Facebook connections.
Well,
Find out about your mom.
Yeah, you better go get her.
Well, Edward, I hate to, I love you. I mean, you are just, and your mother is just the most wonderful person and all that. Your daddy, your aunt over there.
The girlfriend, yeah.
But that girlfriend is something
That's it.
special extra too. You know, she's extra special. Like it. All right.
And you guys are the special ones too. Thank you so much for, visiting us in Florida, spending some time, having family down there. It's
Oh my gosh, thank you.
It was enjoyable to come over and have dinner with you guys and play some golf with the young men when they were
We
down
had
there.
some good times.
We had a lot of good times.
They're so old, their social security number are single digits and stuff like that. I'm not going to stand up here and tell you jokes like that, all right? We're going to honor our heritage, right, Ellen? And be very nice and sweet to them. So we have the oldest Hayes gets their certificate. Eleanor Hayes is 94 years old. An honorable mention and gladness with all our hearts for letting us use this wonderful property is Margie Hayes. She's 88 years old. The oldest female cousin, Ellen Yancey, 77 years old. And Mel Hayes is 80 years old. He's the oldest male cousin. So everybody give a round of applause for the oldest cousin. And you're getting bling. And we do have a little bit of bling for everybody too. Let's see, for Mel we have a pimp necklace. All right, so put that on, Mel. No, you gotta wear it now. That's the rule. You get the award, you gotta wear it. We got some beads for everybody.
Graham, do you want me to put this on you?
Can I blow up this?
Yeah, sure. Blow away.
All right, everybody. Round of applause for the oldest generation here. Let's go.
All right.
Can't mess up the hair. I know how important that stuff is.
Now, you notice something right here. I want to make a note, okay? I was told to get up here and run the ceremonies, and you know what's happening is I'm getting orders from the back here, the real master of ceremonies, and if she doesn't stop, I'm going to make her do this. All right? My dad's been dealing with this for a long time, and I finally know what he's been putting up with. So, this family are the great-great-grandchildren of Fred and Maggie Hayes, and Paxton, if he's up here, he's a great-great-great-grandchild.
All right, on three.
All everybody.
How about a big
together.
smile? 1, 2, pull up your shirt.
Pull up your shirt.
All right, looking good.
Thank you all.
All right, can I get you all to say your names? What? Start right here.
Jonathan, Avery, Jacob, Charlie,
Vera.
Philip, Claire, Natalie,
David.
Matt.
Right.
Brian. Tyler.
Beautiful. Got it.
Matt. Mike.
All right, love it. All good.
An honorable mention for all three of you for the Most Patient Hayes Award. And Aunt Margie of the Hayes Family Certificate for all these fine people who have decided to join our family.
Philip, can we get a name from everybody? Starting over here.
Yeah, say your names. We're going to roll over and get a video here.
Melissa Self.
Melissa.
Deborah Hayes.
Don Peterson.
Denise Hayes.
Katie Antis.
In the back.
David Duke.
Karen Taylor.
In the back.
Hayes.
Bruce Reynolds.
Okay.
Sandy Godwin.
In the back.
Dave Wagner.
Georgia Hayes.
Aunt Margie. And Eleanor.
Bill Antis.
Billy.
Herkimer Lipschitz.
Oh, God.
Meg Nancy.
Uh-huh. Say again.
Lisa Klinger.
Okay.
Grace Yancey.
Sonia Yancey.
Bill Yancey.
Bill Phil.
Donnie Taylor.
Karima Hernandez.
Soon to be.
Soon to be Hayes.
Vic Thomas. Kenneth Velez.
Rebecca Griffin.
What's your name? I like it.
Jen Hayes.
All right. Donnie, go, start it.
Donnie Taylor.
Margaret Thomas.
Kenneth Velez.
Avery Elizabeth,
William Tyler Hayes.
Victor Thomas.
Pat Self,
Bill Self. Brant Mullis.
Melissa Self.
Allison Mullis,
Wes Self. Jacob Reynolds.
David Duke.
Vic, I already got you.
Herb Thomas.
I love it.
Shara Duke. Maddie Reynolds.
Bruce Reynolds. Byron Stokes.
Denise Hayes.
Wait a minute. I don't have you yet, do I?
Yeah, you did.
I did? Okay, I'm sorry. Herb, I got you.
You got me.
I got you. Okay, here we go.
Grace.
Bill Nice.
Josie Reynolds.
And
Samantha Reynolds.
love it.
Greg Hayes.
Love it. Jay.
Jonathan Hayes.
Susie.
Susan Thomas. Vernice Nyes.
Jonathan Taylor,
You're excused.
Jacob Taylor,
Melvin Hayes.
Love it. Linda.
Taylor.
Bill Nice.
Loud.
Matt Yancey.
Got it.
Bill Yancey.
Don Peterson. Love it.
Philip Antis. Charlie Antis.
Becky Peterson.
Oh, I got you.
Ellen Yancey. Peggy Hansen. Grace Yancey.
I love it.
David Yancey.
Did I get you? Yep.
Skip Long.
Eleanor Hayes.
Come back here.
Natalie Self.
Quick. Run. Margaret Hayes.
Are y'all a couple?
No.
Oh.
David.
Brian Yancey.
Come here right quick.
Matt Wagner.
Like it?
Rebecca Hayes.
Josie.
Claire Self. Tristan Duke. And this is Ellie Reynolds.
Okay.
Georgia Hayes.
Get up. Go to mommy. Go to mommy.
Rebecca Hayes.
Get up.
Deborah Hayes. Pam Wagner.
Dave Wagner. Mike Wagner.
Kelly Wagner.
Don Hayes.
Kat Ferguson. Evelyn Ferguson.
I like it. All right, and what's your name?
Wyland.
Like it.
Kay Antis.
He's Bill Antis. Bill Antis. Spencer Hayes.
Jennifer Hayes. Eleanor Antis. Katie Antis.
Bryce Griffin.
And who's that little boy?
Bryce Griffin and Rebecca Griffin.
I like it.
Hayes Griffin.
Well, this is a gentleman that I, honest to gosh, thought I had met before, and his name is Hayes.
You never met Hayes before?
I don't think I had until last night, and I mistook him for somebody else.
Is that right?
Now, where would I have met you?
From Shirley or Bryce or someone like, yeah, somewhere.
Yeah.
I was up here as a little kid running around.
Well, we had already moved away, though. See, I'm old enough to be your mother.
Well, y'all are related. Y'all related. You don't know each other.
No,
Sure is good to see you.
I did find out that he's from Georgia, and you're just really a neat guy, and I think you're really neat too. Anybody named David Duke with the beard?
Oh my gosh, did anybody kid you about David Duke once in a while? I bet.
Especially this weekend. He
I
has
bet.
been harassed.
I love it. Byron, tell a story.
Years ago, when David first started dating Sheriff, we drive four-wheelers over to the old Hilton place on the power line on Sundays, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, we were riding one day, and we stopped for a little break, and here comes this guy out of the woods and the brush and everything. He had some beagles. He was hunting rabbits.
Yeah.
But we noticed he had his gun, but we noticed he had more doggone crashed beer cans and full beer cans in his vest than he did anything else. And
This is exactly the kind of guy you'd want your daughter to date, right?
And this wasn't David, this is another guy that came up. But the guy says, "You guys realize where you at?" David says, "Hey buddy, do you realize who I am?" He says, "No, I don't. Who are you?" He says, "My name's David Duke. You know, like Duke Power Lines. You're in the wrong place at the wrong time. The guy turned around left."
Are you serious?
First time.
Daddy, we're going to the pub.
Now wait a minute. Do you want to say that on film?
We're going to the pub. Yeah, we're going to go play in the
Man, what beautiful children.
Thank you.
Now, what is your name?
Tristan.
Tristan, what's your name?
Bryce.
I like it. And this is Riley.
Ryland Griffin.
Ryland. I like it.
Any questions?
You know what? That offended.
Don't ask any questions.
That offended me when they gave y'all the oldest award. I mean, I think they should have given you an award for being the best looking couple. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I can't believe it was for like old people.
No comment.
What are you guys doing now?
Talk to my lawyer.
As much as little as possible.
I love it. I love it.
And whenever I want to.
And wherever you damn well please.
Exactly.
I love it. I love it. Now, how many grandchildren y'all got now?
I don't know.
We have 6.
And that was a good award for the most confusing family structure.
We've got 7, haven't we?
We have 7, but one of them is living somewhere else.
Okay. Well, I don't need to hear about any of that. But
He's in heaven.
oh, yeah. All right. Well, love you guys, and thanks for coming. And see you next time, about 10 years from now, right?
All right.
It'll be sooner than that.
Peg.
Yes.
Your husband wasn't really that bad.
Yeah, it was. I love that guy, but he was a hard man.
I hear you.
It was okay.
Hey, you had some beautiful, you had some beautiful children.
Yeah, I did.
Yes,
I got
sir.
some beautiful grandchildren too.
Yeah.
So, everything's good.
You look good.
Thank you.
As a matter of fact, you look better than I've ever seen you.
You think?
Yeah, I do.
Well, that's good.
You just happy or just what?
I don't know. I moved to Indiana and I'm making new friends and being active.
And got the kids nearby. And
yeah, so I'm good.
you look good. All right, Margie. Did you have to spank Cathy when she was a little girl?
Not that much.
Not that much. Well, all I can say is you raised one heck of a daughter. You know what?
I raised 3.
I was about to get to that, but you beat me to it. I mean, you have 3 of the most wonderful girls I have ever seen. Do you know how much Susie and Maggie do for my mother? I mean, it's just amazing. It really is amazing. And Cathy, I tell you what, Cathy, I thought you lived in Atlanta. Seems like I see you up here a lot more than Atlanta.
You know, there's something about home that always draws on the heartstrings.
It does.
And you have to come home a lot.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, is that your Porsche or Sandy's?
That's my husband's Porsche.
I tell you, I can't. If I had a car like that, I'd drive it up and down the highway too. Aunt Margie, you proud of Linda?
Yeah.
I mean, you got 3 fantastic daughters.
They're all good too.
You ever think about Uncle Steve any?
Yeah.
Really?
Miss him.
I miss him too. He was some character.
Yeah, he was.
He really was. Well, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you letting us come over here and get all together.
I'm just glad to see everybody.
Yeah.
Some of the people I didn't know, but I was glad to see.
I mean, some of these people I've never seen them all. Well, they've only been born here a few years.
Right.
Anyway.
Right.
All right. Love you both.
Love you both. Thank you, Roger.
Linda.
Yes.
Linda, I asked Aunt Margie about this.
Let's get over here in the shade and line up.
The question was, did your mom ever have to spank you when you were a little girl? Tell the truth now.
No, but she sure did switch my legs.
Did she really?
With a little hickey stick.
Did you deserve it?
I'm sure I did, but at the time I thought I didn't, and I really cried hard.
Are you serious? Or you really remember that?
She make us get our own. There were 3 bushes right here between these trees.
Yeah.
And they just grew up. I call them little cane hickories. They're really little, maybe like forsythia bushes, and they have little fine branches on them, little thin branches.
Yeah.
And if we'd misbehaved, we had really had to push her to her limit. You know, she was taking care of 3 girls and an invalid mother-in-law at that time.
Oh, I remember.
And if we didn't do just what she wanted, she said, you go out there and you break me a switch and you bring it to me. And then she'd spank our legs with it.
Well, what if you just break a little old teeny one?
You had to make another trip and you got an extra whip.
Are you serious? Yeah. Oh, you learned right quick on that deal.
Iron Britches Margie. That's what they call her.
Iron britches?
That's what we'll call Mama's iron britches.
Iron britches?
You know why? Because Mama has the iron will of stronger than any woman I've ever met in my entire life.
Oh, I guarantee. I know that's true. Absolutely true. Yeah.
And when I was dating Donnie, we drive up in this.
Y'all unlike some of these new couples around here, y'all never lived in sin, right?
Never lived in sin. We
like
drove up here in this little Chevrolet Impala.
No, it was a Bel Air.
Bel Air's what it was.
60 Bel Air.
60 Bel Air. And then we would sit out there and we would...
Wait a minute, I'm coming.
We'd sit outside here in this little dirt driveway and we were always getting us a little kiss.
I love it.
Kiss.
I love
it. By the time I get one kiss, on come this front door wipe. Telling you, get in here.
Now let's see. I want to know exactly why you were trying to lick your son's ear.
It was after midnight.
It was after midnight?
Yeah.
So after midnight doesn't count?
Well, after midnight you can't see too good, you know, with all the drinks you had.
Oh, I see. So, well, now here's a question. Have you ever shot a big hog over in Africa before?
Yeah.
Weigh 800-something pounds?
No.
What was it weigh?
I don't know. He's pretty big. I'll show you a picture. Get Linda to show you a picture.
I've heard that it's a big animal. Huh?
Hogzilla.
Hogzilla is it called?
Hogzilla.
Well,
it's gonna make world
records.
Yeah.
Well, did you mount his head? You gonna have his head mounted?
Kinda.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
I ain't got nowhere to hang it though. Can I put it at your house?
Hey, how about a hunt club out there?
I don't think the walls will hold it.
It's that big?
It's that big. It's monster.
You know what we ought to do?
What?
When we come hunting season, we ought to get a little, at least one poker game one night over here in the old top of your barn down there.
It's always open.
I like it. All right, buddy.
I gotta get back. I'm on garbage detail at the Hayes reunion.
That's what they assigned. That's the task they assigned you.
My last name is Taylor.
Yeah.
It's not Hayes, so I'm on garbage detail.
I like it.
Karima.
Karima. Okay. And Karima, welcome to the Hayes family. I hope nobody's grabbed you in an inappropriate place.
Not that many times.
Well,
Just kidding.
That's great. When's the wedding day?
In November.
November.
Yep.
Well, let me. Well, I'll tell you what. We are. Don't take this the wrong way, but we're really surprised Lane could get somebody as beautiful as you.
No, that's not surprising her at all.
Lucky to have it.
Believe me, you know I'm kidding. About this wonderful gathering.
You don't need to take a picture of me. Another picture of me.
Huh?
You don't need to take another picture.
I'm taking another picture of you.
Take a picture of
me. Hey, bro. I tell you, Don, I can't tell you how much I appreciate your coming up here and spending a little time with Mama.
I tell you what, it's been wonderful.
Thank you. She's
I'm living and I'm impressed.
She's a good one. All right. Let's now.
Smile, like you love your Oma.
Oma, is that what they call them?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no kidding. Well, are you really red-haired? You look blonde to me.
Well, redheads don't necessarily go gray, they just lose the pigment.
Oh, really?
I've always had gray in my hair, so.
Well, all I can say
I
is...
gave it to Rebecca.
Do you have to spank these boys? She spanks you a lot.
No. Now, I have ever spanked them when they were little and wouldn't go to bed.
Blah, 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 blah.
Well, tell me...
blah, blah child.
Tell me about the Boy Scout camp.
It was hot and rainy.
Other than that, did you like it?
Yep.
Okay. Well, cool. Now, you went out to a super trip, didn't you?
Super trip?
Out to Arizona or somewhere?
Yeah.
What was that like?
You didn't? The Pro Scouts?
No.
Oh.
Huh? You didn't go to Arizona?
I did.
Oh, yeah, okay. But that wasn't for Scouts?
No.
What was that for?
Oh, Tyler and them went to like New Mexico.
Oh, New Mexico. But you went to Arizona.
I didn't go to anywhere.
Are you not a Scout?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. How close are you to Eagle?
Not that close.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How much you get? I mean, what's your rank now?
Second class.
Okay. Well, you're closer than you think. Wow. Have you even thought of a project?
No.
You know, that's the hard thing, to think of a project and all that sort of a thing.
Are you an Eagle Scout?
No, but my son Grayson is.
Mm-hmm.
He is. He's an Eagle Scout, and let's be honest about it. Actually, his mother forced him into being an Eagle Scout. Okay.
Even Georgia said I worked hard for this.
Yes, exactly. Well, what about your grandmother? Is she a pretty nice lady?
Yes.
She is. I'll tell you.
I'll give you $1.
It's all good.
Really?
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Love you guys.
Thanks, right. Love you too,
Josie,
Roger.
who's this little old girl you're trying to help out here?
I don't know what her name is, but I think it's Josie Ray.
I tell you what, she's a beautiful little girl, isn't she?
She's like her great grandma.
Yeah. She's perfect. I tell you what, Josie, you're looking great.
Thank you.
You really
I
are.
hope you mean that.
Oh, I absolutely mean it. I absolutely mean it. Now, here's the question: Are you still able to live all by yourself?
Uh-huh.
Who cut your yard?
Byron.
Well, you're not cutting
Susan.
you're not cutting the lawn anymore. Okay. I got it. Well, do you ever do a garden? Do you ever plant any collard greens?
Byron planted me 5 tomato plants and 5 squashes and 3 little onions.
Well,
and I look after them.
I believe you bragging on Byron a lot. But what about you? What about your girl? I thought she'd do something for you.
She looks after me.
She does.
Holds my hand when I walk.
Believe me, I'm teasing you. You know that.
I know it.
All right, love you.
I love you.
Okay. Now, what is your name?
Say Josie Ray.
You say, Josie Ray. How old are you? Josie Ray, look at this finger. See this finger? This finger might tickle you. Josie Ray, here comes the tickle. Is it going to tickle you? Tickle, 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 tickle.
Now.
Wow. Are you a good girl? Oh my gosh. Well, this is my beautiful daughter,
Oh, is this
Jennifer.
a video?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And this is
Say hi.
Charlie.
There I am smiling like it's a picture. Say hi,
Charlie's
Charlie.
been sort of sick, but he finally got here, and he is looking good. Charlie, you were so he was so sick he just went to sleep in my lap.
He did.
He didn't care about his mommy, his daddy. He just went to sleep.
Right to sleep on Pops.
All right. Love you. Thank you so much for coming.
Love you too. So glad to be here.
Right here. Get your jaws working really good. All right. Okay.
Are they going to do it one at a time?
No. Everybody's gonna. Y'all watch now, and y'all two decide. Y'all stand over here together. All right. Everybody ready? I'm going to count on the count of 3. Start your bubbles. Ready? 1.
Wait. Can't say wait. Right.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Nice going, Mag. Oh, look at that bubble. Whoops. Oh my God. Woo!
All right.
There's got to be more than that. Come on. Oh my gosh, Maggie.
Cathy and Maggie. All right.
Well, there's got to be some kind of a guy.
Hey, Cathy and Maggie final tie. Okay, you two come up here and y'all are in the finals.
Okay. Here we go.
All right, ready?
You can't do it.
1, 2, 3.
Oh!
All right.
That was a tie.
All right, here it goes.
Here she goes. Oh no!
2.
I can't do it.
It's gone. It's out. It's out. Once and done.
Oh, here we go. Yes. The winner.
There you go, Maggie. You're the winner. Congratulations. I got a prize.
Want a whole box of double bubble.
Yay! Okay, kids.
Hold it. Oh my gosh. How many pieces of chewing gum you have in there?
Like 1.5.
Oh my gosh.